contracts, contracts, contracts. Should you have one? This is something I didn't take seriously for a long time. For years in my agency, I didn't have one, but regardless of whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran, you should always have a contract in place, and it's not for the reasons that you might think. I first thought the reason you had a contract was because if something catastrophic happened, then legally you would be in the clear. However, that's not the case. Unless it's some big and powerful client, the chances of you being sued or taken to court are very, very slim. Even with a contract, it doesn't guarantee that you won't get in trouble. So then you may be wondering, well, why do I need to have one? The main reason is because it's professional. Now, personally, I haven't really used too many contracts because, like I said, I just never thought it was important and I couldn't have been more wrong. However, when you have a specific offer, it's important you set expectations, what service you will be providing, so it's very clear from the beginning. When I first started my agency, I didn't get clients to sign one, and I think it was because I was scared. I was scared if I mentioned the word contract or agreement, then the deal would be over, then they would back out. For me, it was very, I don't know what the word is, but it was extremely awkward. And then, it would make the prospect feel awkward. It's funny because most people you work with will actually want to see a contract and sign one. It's more of a red flag if you don't have one, and I've certainly experienced this. Now, if you come across someone and they want to know the ins and outs of it all and, explain it to them. Now, look, if you come across someone and they want to know the ins and outs of it, you can just explain to them that it's everything that you've already gone through on the call and includes your offer, whatever that may be. There is nothing new or surprising on the contract that they haven't already heard. When I created my lead offer, that's when I had to use one. Now, as always, I'll leave everything down below. I've got a paper lead, a retainer, and I've also got an employee or contractor agreement for you to have a look at. I actually got the template from my first mentor and edited the parts for myself, which you'll see down below. You'll also have to change the service, the date, and those small details. Not all clients are going to be reasonable, right? This is why if you ever get a disputed payment or argument, you can refer to the contract and appeal a refund through Stripe by sending them the signed contract. As you probably know by now, the contract or agreement is just there to set the expectations. Clients know what the services that you're providing them are, what the fee is, what the term, the cancellation policy, so you don't run into any issues down the line. It's rare, but sometimes in your agency, a client may have signed and paid. You've just started writing the ad copy or building the creatives, and then suddenly something comes up and they have to pull out before the ads are running. This has only happened to me about twice in the last 4 years. Even though they did sign the contract, what can you really do? The answer is not much. Also, I'm human, so I just gave them the money back and we parted ways. I've spoken about this before, but when I created my 10 lead guarantee offer, the biggest issue was I said I could get them the results within 30 days. I didn't include if something happened, such as the ad account being shut down for 7 days, that time period was excluded. So in the document, make sure whether you do pay-per lead or retainer, you have these conditions in place and you can edit the parts that you need, such as the term, name, fee, etc. There was an instance where I worked with a client. He was extremely unhappy. I mean, calling nonstop, swearing at me, threatening legal action, writing horrible emails. And to be honest, I was worried. It kept me up at night. I promised 10 leads, and in fact, I generated 11, sent him the evidence, but he told me he'd only received 9. I mean, 1 lead short, right? He was being completely unreasonable. Even now, I joined Telegram recently, and he's seen that I joined because I'm on his contact list, and he starts sending me messages after messages, bombarding me with, and swearing at me and calling me every name under the sun. But anyway, look, I was nervous about it. He threatened to take me to court twice. I ended up just not replying because after trying to resolve it multiple times, you just got to leave people alone. The truth is they won't be suing you or taking you to court over a couple of $1,000, dollars. What happens though is Stripe disputes, and that's what I'm going to go through now. If you've taken payment through Stripe and an issue can't be solved, very few, but some clients will dispute the payment, even after the work might have been done. Stripe will take the money from your account plus a $15 penalty fee while this gets resolved. This is where a contract is great. You can show proof, screenshots, exactly what you did for that client, and the money does end up going back into your account once you win. To me, that's a big fuck you to the client who tried to take your legs out from under you. I love it. Contracts and agreements, as I like to call them, really just make sure that, you know, the expectations are set and it makes you look professional. And it's the beginning of a good relationship together. If someone doesn't want to work with you anymore, regardless of a contract or not, I'm not going to force people. So I like to use softwares such as HelloSign or DocuSign. They're both extremely easy and simple to use. It will allow you to email the agreement to the prospect and they can sign it via their phone or computer in about 5 seconds. What I'll actually do is sign up using a new account and walk you through it. So let's jump into my computer now. Like I said before, you can use HelloSign or DocuSign. They're exactly the same, right? They look exactly the same and they function exactly the same. So what we're going to do is, once you've signed up, you're actually going to be asked to put your signature in the HelloSign account. So, you know, you can just paste your signature and sign it and just send it to the client right away. So what we're going to do is sign or send. So you're going to have to upload your contract. Let me just use this one as an example here. So only takes a few seconds to upload, doesn't take long at all. The next step will be to put who is going to be signing this, right? So for example, let's go John Smith. John Smith at gmail.com. Now you've also got yourself as a signer as well. Okay. Now you're going to click next. Now this is where we put the signatures in. So for John Smith, we see here, we've got the drop down, we've got me and John Smith. So let's drag John Smith over here, and then for myself, we can drag this here and it should auto place my signature there. Now, since I haven't actually filled this out properly in terms of actually putting a real person's email and that in, it's not going to allow me to continue. So what you need to do is, here's what we can do instead. So I can sign this, it will be sent to my email. Click next. Message, so you know, you can say agreement and send for signature. It will pop into their inbox and they can put their signature on. It takes less than 10 seconds. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you send an invoice. Again, your signature will auto-populate. It will auto-populate. But what I would do is, if it doesn't, just do it the way I've just shown you, and you know, you'll get the contract first, you will sign it, and then it will automatically send to the client. Now with both HelloSign and DocuSign, I believe you can send 3 contracts per month free, so you don't need to pay for this service. Well, you know, at least for a while. All right, everyone, so that's how we go about sending a contract and signing it. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, the contract templates will be available to download below this video. Like I said, I've also attached an example for contractors when you hire a freelancer for your agency. Please remember a few things. You need to put your own company name, client name, fill in the details like the dates, the service section, your term. You know, it's kind of like, this is the template, but you've got to adjust it to what, you know, your offer is and what you agree with the client. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next module.